Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm excited. I don't know about y'all, but this is a good day. Okay. It's Sunday. Telling people in the comments to wake up. Come on back. Welcome. This is Sister Girls Book Club. Today is Black Book Content Creators Day. Like, I can't even get it out. That's how excited I am. The day was started just like anything else. I was sitting here and I'm like, y'all be doing the most on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and everything else. And I was like, our book content creators, they need a day. They need a day. And they need a day that can overthrow the algorithms. They need a day where other people can just see all the amazing things that y'all are doing because everybody is so many different places. So, one, I'm happy that y'all are doing what y'all doing in this community. Two, y'all are bomb is AF. And three, welcome to our live panel. I'm excited. So, I want y'all to introduce yourselves and then y'all can answer the question, what made you become a book content creator? Like, of all the content that you could have been creating, like makeup, I don't know, exercise stuff, y'all could have been fashion, like all of this other stuff. What made you decide to be a book content creator? So I'll start we go this way. So Felicia.
Hey, yes. Thank you so first I want to say thank you for having me. I think the one this black bookish community is that we be out here for each other and I'm
Mhm.
just here. I say that all the time. It's so welcoming. In 2020, I was at home bored and I came across a Huffington Post article, Where Are All the Black Booktubers? And
Mhm.
I was like, wait, it's a community that talks about books and y'all need some black people? Sign me up. Okay. So I literally just got back into reading very heavily because of the article.
Mhm.
And my students at the time I was in youth development, they wanted to learn how to be on the internet. So I started studying the science of social media and helping them grow their pages and just using my
Mhm.
example. And two
Mhm.
years, I'm sitting here talking to you, beautiful ladies.
Well, that's a good story.
Yeah.
Jaleesa. And it's so
Hi.
you even start talking. You got the Jaleesa name, and then she's wearing a different world book. I'm just saying, I'm just pointing it out. We on one
It's
accord.
it's it's meant to be today. Hi, I'm Jaleesa, also known as Jaleesa Reeds. How I became a content creator, it was really an accident. I got on TikTok because I was following Bama Rush, and I was just fascinated that they put their process on the internet like that. I was like, this is interesting, and I randomly came across like a post about book talk, and so I was like, okay, well, let me put book talk and then like black romance and see what comes up. And the only posts that were coming up were of the Brown Sisters trilogy, which great books, but they're not black romance books.
I
So
know
I was
that's
like,
right.
okay, well, I guess I'm gonna throw my little hat in the ring and just talk about these authors because I mainly read indie romance. So I was
Hmm.
like, I don't see people talking about these authors on this site, and if I can get one person to find a new book and kind of welcome them in this community, I feel like I did a good job. And so that's how I ended up being a content creator, which is so weird for me to even call myself a content creator because I feel like I just be talking about books. Like I just be wanting people to know what they need to read. But
But I
I guess I technically am a content creator. I'm gonna own that and kind of step fully into it.
yeah, I want you to step into that because you
I'm
you
I'm
you
I'm
had a
I'm, I'm
whole
working on
28 days. You done started with the girls. So yeah, step into that. But more of that later. Tori, first of all, I feel like you might be my long lost, like low key cousin, and we just found each other because you know Lisa Marie, and y'all be talking, and y'all definitely cousins. And since we related, and I feel like you come on the internet guns blazing. Anytime a black indie author, a black romance author, you come with the gunslinging. I always because I be like, yeah, she say all the stuff that I can't say over here because I'm keeping. But yes, introduce yourself, girl.
So I'm Tori, also known as Black Romance Connoisseur.
Mhm.
Um and I just want to say, like, I love Lisa. She's so sweet, and like she be sliding recommendations and if she just walk away, like it just leave it and leave me in chaos. I'm like, ooh, girl, what did you just give me?
So I'm happy that y'all all said that y'all became kind of book talkers, big content creators by like happenstance because you fall
Absolutely.
saw a need and you kind of just filled it. So my thing is when beginning the journey to become a content creator specifically for books by black authors, what was something that you didn't anticipate to happen that happened like since from the beginning till now? What are some things that is just like, well, I did not know this was going to go down? It could be positive or not so positive, but something that like people can know, like if I'm trying to step into this space, you might want to think about this too.
I think the reaction, the response.
Mm-hmm.
I've been on. So I started creating almost 1 year ago. It'll be
Mm-hmm.
next month. Will make 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I found other people like me, a lot like what Jaleesa said. I was looking for Black romance, and I was not finding. I was I guess hearing my people, but I wasn't seeing them. Um, and so like to start posting the content, start talking about the authors that aren't all across the social media platforms yet. The response to the people that were just like me, that was unexpected.
Anyone else? I
I
mean,
would
feel free to take
say
yourself, jump in.
I would kind of piggyback off what Tori said. It's also like the recognition
Mhm.
is very strange for me. Like I've attended a few book events and like I'm standing in line to buy a book and get a book signed by an author. And somebody's like, "Oh, Jaleesa Reeds," and I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, that's me." So that has been something that it's taken some time to get used to, but also
Mhm.
the response from authors. Like to have an author who, they put a book out. It's hard to write a book and put it out into the world for complete strangers to read and judge. So when I read a book from a new author and I talk about it and that author hops in my inbox like, "Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate your feedback." Like that for me, I don't know, that just makes me warm and fuzzy on the inside. But I didn't
Mhm.
expect that authors would do
Mhm.
that or even be appreciative. Not that, they're unappreciative people, but I just feel like you probably need to go be writing your next book because I'm gonna be asking about it.
Uh-huh.
So it's like priorities. But that has been something that's taken some time to get used to. I enjoy it, but it catches me off guard every now and then.
Okay.
Yeah, I think all of that, right? The community, who we're meeting, who we're talking to, people that we didn't know, or I didn't know that there was such a large community of like-minded people. And I guess that's, just not thinking in abundance, you know what I mean? But the part that I also wasn't prepared for was I am stepping out of a comfort zone for myself, right? Like I'm an extroverted introvert. Like this is not me all the time. I'm curled up with my books actually. And so I think it has pushed me to a space to be more courageous, right? And
Mhm.
so someone, sees this or sees something that I'm doing on TikTok and they're like, "Oh my God, I like that." I'm like, that was a struggle for me. I'm glad you liked it. And so I really think that it's growing something in me and planting seeds in other people. And I could have never imagined that me loving books and talking about them would do that at all.
That's amazing. All right. So I know when y'all first started y'all platforms, it wasn't just like 10K followers and likes out the gate, right? I know at one point you was like, all right, y'all, am I just throwing rocks into like a forest and asking if anybody's there? So if you've had that experience, what made you to keep going? And what was the post or the piece of content that you created where it was like, dang, I just did numbers. I went double platinum, on like I just went double platinum. And that kind of gave you the push to keep going. I'm gonna start with Tori.
Um, I would say those moments where you're like, what am I doing? What am I doing this for? They ebb and flow.
Mhm.
Because you can that especially that clock app will gaslight you. And on that note, I would say more of us need to repost our content. So if you
Yeah.
posted it and the clock app gave you 100 views, nah, you're gonna have to spin the block, run that content back because some people didn't hear you.
Mhm.
But I would say one of the posts for me that really made me feel like, oh snap, was I kind of asked, when did you fall in love with Black romance?
Mhm.
And I was giving my answer, but I wasn't expecting responses. But I
Mhm.
kept getting, stitches and just like people tagging me in their answer to when they fell in love with Black romance. And to me, like that was everything, because that's, you know, that's the community. That's
Mhm.
who we're here for. So yeah, that was really special.
Tori, I remember that post. So like we know y'all. I remember posts, and for me, Tori, it was your black book boyfriend babe question. That TikTok for me did 50K, and I was like, whoa, I didn't even know what was happening. I was literally at work, so I work in retail, and I'm always on my phone. I was like, what's happening? Why do I keep getting these messages? Like, what? And I was like, oh, this is like a real thing. Like, I would have never expected for a black romance TikTok to do that.
Mhm.
We out here. Yeah, that I wasn't ready for it. And me and Tori talking now. Hey girl, what?
For me, the thing that got the most traction for me was when I did 28 Days of Black Romance last February. If y'all don't know, I was unable to finish my 28 days because TikTok removed me from the app because I had made a video that was kind of mean. And they were like, you have to go time out. But there were a few other creators that kept it going and they kept directing people to my page. So that I just like, I would click on it and I'm like, that has 100,000 likes. Like, who are these 100,000 people? Like, where did they come from? And even now, like, I'll make a post and, you know, if it gets like 4,000 views and likes, I'm like, this is cool. Hi, friends. I hope you know, I hope you're here to stay.
Stick around. All right. So I love this, but I want to also note, NOTE, that y'all actually put in work. This is not like, let me go use this template, let me go get this font, and let me just throw something together, put a little razzle dazzle and put it out there. Each of you like bring something very special to the community. So like when I'm with Felicia, I get lifestyle with books. I get your inner thoughts. I be feeling like, girl, we in the living room together. And then Tori, you give us, first of all, you gave us like a whole yearbook, Loki, like a whole magazine layout of like the new people and in Black Lit that we should be paying attention to. And Jaleesa, girl, you just, first of all, you feel like home. Like you feel like, I don't know if it's because you got a friendly, nice face or something. Because you know how you get that face like, I know her. She's
Hi,
so nice.
friends.
Yeah, it's like you have one of them, hey girl, hey. And it's like you put together 28 days and you've been consistent with it. You know what I mean? And you gotten other people to like jump on board and put it out there. And that's kind of the way we do flip the algorithms and we show up for each other. And even you guys pinging off of each other. So how do y'all put this together? Like, where do you get the inspiration, the creativity? Where is it like, okay, this is going to be the thing that I move forward with, or this is going to be something that, you know what, I don't know if this is going to work. Let me put that on the back burner. How do you decide what to like create for the community, what to create just because you like it? And what do you think when something takes off, do you keep moving forward with it, or you just go on to the next thing? I know that was a lot, but it was basically like your process. I'll start with Jaleesa.
I just make a lot of my content is not planned. I will start by saying that. A lot of times it's just random thoughts that I want to share with my reader friends. I feel like they need to know, like, hey, I just finished this book. I need y'all to read it because y'all got to go meet this main character. The things that I do plan out is really just stuff that I would want to see if I were new to the community or if I were seeking out a community. Because I remember there was a time, I've always been a reader. There was a time where I was so desperate to read books that I saw myself in. I saw my friends, I saw my family in. And if you don't know about this community, you kind of, it's hard. It was hard to find it. It's not as hard now, but like 2015, 2016, we were struggling. It was like, where are the we knew the Omars and the Zanes, like we knew those people, but this new crop of authors, these new Black contemporary romance authors, most of them were indie, so they're not traditionally published. They're doing everything on their own. So if you didn't already know where to find them, you didn't really know where to look. And my whole purpose has really been to be that person so that there are not women out there like me, like, damn, I really love reading. I really love reading romance. I would love to read a romance where the only Black character was not just there for comedic relief. Like I want to read a romance where I can see myself and I can see the people that are around me. So yeah, I mean, and I just again, most of my content is just off the fly, and because I be in my bonnet, my hair don't even be done all the time. Like it's very raw. It's very raw
Yeah,
sometimes.
that's what gives me the idea that like we just like kicking it. Like, it's a vibe. So
Yeah.
keep it up, girl. Don't change.
I think kind of like my reading schedule, my posting is also very emotional. So it's literally like, what did I pick up? Did I enjoy it? Do I think someone should read it? And then it becomes like, oh no, you have to post this because you're emotionally led by it. I also think about posting as like an artistic expression. So I'm very in how I like to shoot the post, how I like to like load them and all that kind of stuff. And I think because I consume a lot of social media, right? I watch like it's TV. I can spend hours scrolling on TikTok, but I try not to watch other creators, right? So as much as I enjoy Jaleesa and Tori, I make it a point like not to go into my following feed because I want it to be me. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't want to like be inspired by them. Or be like, oh, that sparked this idea, and for it to come across as very similar. I really want to like make something that's kind of different that might speak to people in different ways, because I think we're all here, to speak to the people. So that's kind of my approach. I hope I'm not rambling, but yes, that's my
No, you're not rambling. You make perfect sense because I do the same thing because I run the social media pages for our book club. So it's like you start seeing, you like, okay, wait, let me go. But I like pop culture, like Black pop culture. So a lot of my ideas is like inspired by music, art, and all that other stuff. And then I bring it and I, flip it and reverse it over here in the book world. So I totally understand because you want to be inspired, but at the same time, you don't want to feel like you're just straight jacking or copying. You want to have your own style. And that's what I do appreciate about y'all, because I feel like I get three different vibes when I visit your pages and I follow your content, even though you're pushing maybe the same book or the same, the same storylines, or it's just three different experiences. Tori, did you answer?
No, not yet. I'm chaotic. I am chaotic. Okay. Now, like sometimes idea will pop in my head and it's gonna take a little time to bring to fruition. And then other times I'm just like, I got a second, I'm gonna press record and I'm gonna leave this in the hands of TikTok. If TikTok feel like, want to push it out, or if Instagram feel like you want to push it out, then do that. So yeah, I would say it's a lot of chaos. And I'm really fed by the books, the content of the books, these authors, these Black romance authors specifically. That's where I get my passion from. I'm like, nah, y'all need to be reading this. Y'all need to make sure this never stays on the shelves because we are buying it out. And so that right there is what'll be like, okay, well, let me see what I can put together. I tell people all the time, they will have to pry Canva and CapCut out of my cold dead hands. Okay. You'll have to pry them away from me. And I still might fight you.
It's so funny, but I love it. So one thing about it is that every day you come on these social media streets, somebody is taking up their little social media tiki torch and running, whether they on the right side or wrong, or the wrong side or right. We never know what it's going to look like when you come, especially on a Monday. For some reason, Mondays, I don't come on a lot of social media because I feel like somebody's just waiting to argue. And sometimes you'll get involved with it because you're either defending Black literature, Black authors, Black spaces. And it's just like when it comes to the defense mode or just even speaking, how do you know when to speak out, when to just kind of like let it go? Because we've seen some stuff, even more recently, like it's been a discourse about Zora Neale Hurston. And I thought it was a joke. I tend to like always play things. I'm like, no, it couldn't have been that crazy. And then I saw the video and I was like, oh, okay. And everybody is going to have something to say. When do you know when to kind of like speak on, if that is your platform, if you take that on to speak on it, and when do you choose, or some situation where you're just like, you know what, I'm gonna let somebody else do it. It can't be me today. I'm gonna start with Tori because Tori, you be coming.
I'm passionate. I'm a passionate person, and like I'm like this in real life, and I know like A lot of people be like, oh, here she go. And so I think that there has to be balance. And what I found myself doing is trying to make the moments where I speak about something productive, right?
Mhm.
Productive for all of those that are watching, not those that feel as that original poster feels, but those that are for, the culture, for Black literature, for Black romance. I want to speak to them. Like, okay, you watch me talk to this person. You watch me talk to this person. I'm finding it. But okay, here's something you can take with you besides this, what that person said and what I said in response. Like, here, go find some new books to read. You have a good day. But like, if I just feel like I ain't got it, get somebody else to do it. I was like,
Gotcha. Jaleesa?
Jaleesa of now, I'm just really, I try not to give it any energy. I want to make sure that I don't feed into it. What I will also say is I typically do respond. I just leave it in the drafts because I don't know. I'm a little bit slick at the mouth. I've always been told when I have an attitude, it can get a little vicious. I like to, there might have been a time I was beating people up. It can get a little scrappy. And a lot of times these people are just talking out of their ass. Like, they don't actually know what they're talking about. They don't have the education. They don't really have the capacity to have the conversations that they're wanting to have. So I have to, take in mind, they're probably 20 and they're not educated. So they don't know. And it's like, do I respond to this or do I just keep it pushing and make sure that I'm just going to focus on pushing books out, getting my content to the people that want my content? I think that is something that I had to learn. Sometimes in our push to get these romance books and get these Black authors recognition, we're wanting them to be recognized in spaces where they're not going to be appreciated. And I would rather focus on getting them into spaces where they're going to be loved on, they're going to be appreciated, they're going to be supported, as opposed to trying to convince Becky and Tom down the street that they need to be reading this Black author. Because if you wasn't already reading a Black author, if you start now, you're probably not even going to really give it a chance. You already have this preconceived notion, and there's nothing that I or anybody else can say that can change that within you. That has to be a you thing. So I just really want to focus. Like, I try to focus my content and stay out of it. But sometimes I really do. I saw that Zora Neale Hurston, whatever that thing was this morning, and I was like, you know what, God? February is almost over. I don't know why people like to show out in February. I don't understand. But I'm like, if we could just get to March, because they're doing a lot. They're doing a lot.
I am an argumentative person. Like, I love a good debate. I love a good circle, okay? But I also like fact and logic. And I think the access that all of us have with these platforms, with information, period. Google is free, right? Picking up books, they got libraries, we got Libby, we got Barnes and Noble. We have so many places that you can get books and actually create logical thought and factual arguments that I'm always blown away. And I think, kind of similar to Jaleesa, I'm like, I would love to debate you down. I really would. But I feel like my mom always said, don't fight with a fool. So I'll let y'all have it. I'd be like, well, here we go. Now, the moment I do pick it up and I have something to say is because I am really inspired or I am really pissed off to the level of pissivity that I can't be quiet much longer. And I have to respond. But I do kind of navigate through those weeds very cautiously because I am militant. I'm from Birmingham. I don't play that. Like, and if you want to go toe to toe, we could do that. Like, and I be prepared. Like, I'm meant to hit you in the chest. Like, that's what I want to do. I want to take you out. So I also feel like that girl coming and knocking heads off. I want it to be a community where we thrive. And like I said, fact and logic lead us. I think we have a lot of communities that don't lead with fact and logic. And so if this can be a loving space, a factual space, that's what I'm here to promote. But if the gloves got to come off, I'm ready to always go toe to toe. I'm prepared.
And just real quick on the fact and logic, that's what I love about the aftermath of when somebody says something stupid. You know, the aftermath, after everybody's done talking to them and we start back talking to each other about whatever it is, whatever issue it is, and it's usually anti-blackness. That's on is on the bingo card, right? I love the fact and logic that we're able to discuss after we're done with the foolish people. And it's like it might be even some things that you didn't know or some things that you want to save for later, like, you know what, I want to check out that book, I want to see what that phrase was. Let me save that so I can go do some research on that. And so I think that is, I wouldn't say my favorite part, because I really would love if people didn't press record on that camera and then watch it back and decide to post it anyway. I really would love if they wouldn't do that. But if they had to, I am very grateful to be surrounded by so many intelligent Black book creators that choose to use their time and their energy and their intellect to share their knowledge with everybody.
I love that because, like you said, it can become very toxic very quickly if you let it. But I also love a good teachable moment, because a lot of times people, they really don't even know what side of the coin that they stand on when it comes to certain things. Because let's just take the Zora Neale Hurston for example. I don't have anything against the creator of it, but I feel like there's a lot of things she doesn't even know about Zora Neale Hurston. Number one, I work at the Schomburg. Okay, so shout out to Schomburg. So when you work in that type of space, it's almost like, wait, what? But you can't. I remember my boss said something like this: we take for granted a lot of times that we have access to this space, right? And then we walk around and we think that everybody knows this stuff. We have original work from her in that space. So and we watched the documentary, we read the books, we know, like, she literally went back to her roots just to make sure that folklore, all of this stuff was preserved for other Black readers and authors and writers. Like, she literally took that for everybody, when she could have just kind of made books about a whole bunch of things, but she wanted to preserve a certain type of Black history for us. And I think sometimes, like I said, a lot of times people don't even know where they're trying to come from, because they're coming from a contemporary space without historical knowledge. And then there's like everybody has a microphone now. So when they get on here, everyone has that microphone and they're able to like be amplified and uplifted, even if it's bad or good. People don't even care. So my point is like, I think what you're saying is very important, that when the dust settles, that we can actually kind of have information exchange, because you might know something that I don't know. We are still learning so much about Black history just off the rip, and then all of the stuff that's being put into Black literature now, from whether it's historical or fictional. I've read fictional books about like that are romance books that have real Black history facts, and I'm like, I ain't know that. Like, not only are y'all teaching me new words, y'all are teaching me like other historical content that I had no idea about, right? Whether it's contemporary or historical, it's still something that's relevant. And I think that's why I think that y'all come in the best, right? Because y'all are able to like not only create content from that, y'all are able to take that moment and not just kind of let it settle. So my next question is, when do you feel like enough is enough? Like, when are we like, don't have to talk about certain things anymore? Like, when do you say, you know what, I'm not going to make this type of content, I'm trying to elevate and go into a new direction? Because right now y'all are doing things that have been working for you guys, you're building your brand, but is there any plans to like kind of switch up the content? Or do you feel like you want to go into like, I don't know, I want to do podcasts now, I want to be an author now, I want to like, when do you feel like you're going to like change, or are you going to change the direction of where you're going? Or you feel like Black book content, that's where we going, this is what it is? I'll let y'all think on it for a minute.
I can speak on that. I am doing a podcast. It's called Read the Room. Thank you. I like to talk. I talk for a living. Like, talking is my thing. So I feel like I can do that. It's gonna be called Read the Room. It's basically me just talking to readers. We're gonna read a book together, or a book that we've already read, because I can't really buddy read, because I will finish a book in a day. But other than that, I think I just want to continue to expand and grow my brand, the Jaleesa Reads brand,
Mhm.
as a whole. But I think I really enjoy the content that I put out, and I never want to switch it up to a place where it becomes like work or it becomes a burden. I
Yeah.
never want this to be something that I don't enjoy, because I love to read and I love to talk about the books that I'm reading. But I'm also one of those people, like, if it starts to feel like too much of a burden or it becomes too overwhelming, I will go ghost and I will
Mhm.
take a step back and just figure out if it's something that I still want to do. And that actually happened last year. I was like, I don't know, if this is what I want to continue to do. I feel like I was really enjoying just reading books and tweeting about them, and
Mhm.
not the pressure of like, oh, I got to create this content. Da, 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 da. I had to take that pressure off myself and just really be like, look, every book you read, you don't have to talk about it. Talk about the ones you
Mhm.
want to. Hop in when you feel like it, but don't burden yourself. Don't make this something that is going to take the enjoyment out of it. And I just, at the
Mhm.
end of the day, I want to enjoy my content. I love going back and watching my videos and laughing at how foolish I am. And some of the things that I allow to come out of my mouth and then post on the internet. And I just want to keep that going. I feel like that works for me. I enjoy it. And so as long as I enjoy what I'm doing, I'm going to continue to do it.
Anyone else? Yeah, so nice. Go, you be no.
Yeah, I think I'm in a similar place. I think I put Brooklyn in the name for a reason. You know,
Yeah.
it, it's
Wait, before you even go there, I originally thought you were from, because I'm a Brooklyn raised born. I mean, I'm talking about it. This is the most thorough girl from the. I'm just saying. So when you said Brooklyn, I was like, but she don't sound like she's from Brooklyn. Like, it was what I was like, but I'm like, but maybe, I guess, I don't know. And then when I was like Birmingham, I was like, there we go.
years in, and my love affair with feels so strong. Like, I think
Mhm.
here and to live here and to thrive here is very, like, those are, to live here, move here is very different from thrive.
It's
Um,
very different. It's very hard.
yeah, so as a transplant and making it 12 years, I'm like, oh, okay, you're really in this. And so to put that
Mhm.
super important, and then of course to play on Southern Belle, like a Belle, and
Mhm.
I'm also
Bell and Brooklyn, yeah.
right. I love her. Shout out to her. But it's so easy to kind of get lost in, like Jaleesa said, making it a job, right? And so
Mhm.
here is kind of an outlet, and I want to just like have a good time, and I want everyone watching to have a good time. So there's no changing of a lane for me right now. I
Mhm.
always that to be Black and to be a child right now, the lit is so lit. Like, so I think I would probably like kind of switch into giving Rex about young adult books more and more kid books,
Mhm.
because all the books that we didn't have, we're now
They got.
right, right? And
Mhm.
there's something to be celebrated there and something to talk about. I think that would be the only deviation from what I'm currently doing.
Mhm.
Fun here. It's love here. It's easy. When you've been a Black romance girl your whole life, it's like, look, this is just the lane we in because we like it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And so I don't want to change. I love it. I'm having a good time. I did just like post on YouTube. I would really like to like move toward a more YouTube space. But that comes with me talking. And this is a step in that vulnerability and really putting yourself out there. It's like, it's a space. There's abundance. There's place for all of us. And you just have to tap in. Just got to
And
tap in.
it's so much to be covered. Like, I don't think people really realize, like, it's so much, from contemporary stuff to historical stuff, from just like you said, even debating to certain things. Like I said, working at the Schomburg, you see how much literature is like nobody's talking about this. Like, it's so much going on. So it's so much room to grow and to even like do collaboration. It's just so much. We think we're not even on the surface. Like, we just tapping the surface. Tori, come on, girl.
Oh yeah. So the collaboration, that makes me so excited. Like, I think collabing, I just want to see like collabs all the time, because
Mhm.
it's just so dope to see two creative minds come together to produce something.
Mhm.
But the future, right? One, I agree with what Jaleesa said. I don't want this to feel like I'm clocking in. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because I got a 9 to 5, and I feel the way about that. Like, I gotta be a worker. And so I try not to make this feel like work. Even like this February, like I had plans for Black History Month, but Black History Month had plans for me, you know. And part of it, I was like, dog, I'm tired. I ain't got it. I ain't got it. And so I, giving myself that grace and that space to be like, if you don't got it, don't do it. Because like if I start filming, I'm gonna know that I don't feel like me, and what I'm doing would be not authentic. It wouldn't be me. So go ahead, take a break. So that's really one. It's just like it's okay to take a break, because this is gig media. Like we are doing a gig. Like we are doing most of the time for free. We are entertaining for free. So you don't gotta apologize if you was gone. They'll be all right when you come back. And then so like future things. So I kind of do a little consulting behind the scenes. Especially like with authors that I know. I'm like, hey, let me experiment with you. You know what I mean? Like let's see, let's see what we can accomplish. And that can look a variety of ways, from like coming up with like a marketing plan, a strategy, because like my professional job is in strategic communication. So marketing and SEO, all of the digital media, that's all what I do for work. So I use a little bit of what I know here, what I've learned here, and also what I know there and what I've learned over there to try to make this thing work for Black creators, Black authors. Because I be seeing them on TikTok, and I'm like, ain't nobody seeing this? Like D Rose. Y'all don't be seeing D Rose. The fact that her stuff ain't viral. Are you kidding me right now?
I mean, D Rose, Brooklyn Mosley, like
it's so disrespectful. It's disrespectful at this point, that's how I be feeling. And so like I just love to see more of our indie Black authors have more visibility on the app. And I know it's not because they're not creating the content. It's just because the content is being suppressed, which makes you want to like, I've thought about shifting off of TikTok. It's actually going crazy today. Last time I checked, I was at like 23K followers. And like I went to sleep at 16, I swear. And I was like, I'm kind of scared, because I know all of y'all ain't got no sense. You know what I mean? Some of y'all got some sense, and some of y'all don't. So just peep the orientation before y'all come in here acting a fool. And then the other thing is I'm a mom, right? And my oldest baby is on the spectrum. He's on autism spectrum. And he watches me and he's like, Mom, you got any tips on starting a book club? And I'm like, yeah, I got some tips, and so I kind of just want to support him as he does his book club thing with books that he likes to read. And it's like, I don't know, it's so many things. It's twofold, because he gets to socialize and he gets to do something that brings him joy. And I get to be a part of that, So that's also something I'm looking forward to.
Okay, well, just to switch it to like something extra fun, because I think I thought it was fun when I thought about it. If you could jump into two different book authors' worlds, who would it be and why? So the author and the title of the book. Like, who would you like? Yeah, all took a minute, was like, wait, hold up, let me think. I had it. Hold on. I want two different authors and two books. So one book per author. Like what book, what world, and why? Like you got to be up in there.
I got it. Got two. I'm ready. Okay, so hands down, Kima B. I'm trying to be in What You've Been Missing. Sosa is my guy. Like I can't let. I don't know what's happening, but if he got a cousin or a brother, I'm hopping in. Okay? I'm giving myself his tribute. But the other one is D. Camille. She's an indie author out of Detroit.
Yes, I know her.
Oh, I've been obsessed, and it's because it's the mystique. It's they're not hitmen, but they got something going on. It's a little different thing I've ever. And I would hop in Black Magic like nobody's business. Like that first book that she put out. Oh my goodness, I it has had me in the chokehold for these years. Like, you know what I mean? She's taking her stuff off Kindle. You know, you have to own the book, like all the things. I'm hopping in Secret Service agents, billionaires, guns, all the things. I'm trying to be in it. Saved by my beautiful black king. I want the whole nine. Like, just give me all the things.
First place you can drop me off is Mahogany Heights. I am a Christina C. Jones stan. Just drop me anywhere in Mahogany Heights. I will figure it out. I will be okay. If I have to pick like a book, I guess we'll go with Love Notes. We'll go with Love Notes. That's Mahogany Heights. My second author, Gray Huffington. Anything to do with them Eisenbergs, now the Dominoes, like just throw me in. They all rich, so I'm not gonna have to work. I'm gonna have bags, but they also gonna like be real emotionally supportive. And it's just like a really good community. If somebody would like to pick me up and fly me to either of those places, just let me know. I will send y'all my Delta Sky Miles number so that you can send my ticket.
Ooh, I'm just over here hurt. I'm over here hurt right now. This question is in my chest. But okay. First is going to be I want to go to Dandridge Monroe's world. Okay. I wanna live there. And if I had to pick a book, I would say it would be the latest one, Red Roses and Regrets. Because that man was that's a special man right there. And I know that, you know, some things is going on. There's some more things coming. And she said she was getting into the dark romance realm, and I love that for the Black romance girls because we deserve. So yeah, that's my one. And then my second one is gonna be drop me off in Seattle. Asia Monique, Love in Seattle. Drop me off over there. Specifically, Sincerely Yours. I think that's book 2.
Yeah.
I love so much how Black romance authors depict family. Even, you know, not just blood related family, but found family. I love how they surround their characters with people that love, support, and care about them. It's priceless.
I love that. I love all y'all. Y'all got some good selections. Okay, so next question. Now I know y'all were like, girl, you done started something. If you could write to create content for an author who you have not already created content around or for or their stories, who would it be? Yeah, y'all got one, not two, just one. You like, I want to work with this author, like I want to create for their next story or a story that they already have and like do like some type of content that's kind of a little bit ongoing. See, I'm giving y'all ideas low key too. Look at they like, oh my God, no, she didn't. No, she didn't. Felicia look like she's in distress.
Because, you know, the first author that came to my head was L.A. Banks, but unfortunately passed away. And I'm like, I've never created about her Vampire Huntress series, but I think everyone needs to read it. Like, it is life-changing. Like, that is top tier researched writing and like just a beautifully crafted series. It's 13 books. Like, get into it. So she was my first one. So someone who's still living, I would really have to think hard. Ooh, I don't know.
Still got one.
I think so. One, I'm really intentional about trying to create content about newer authors or authors I don't see talked about a lot. So those, I'm also looking at like the number of reviews too, because I think that matters for their visibility purposes.
Yeah.
But I don't have a specific author name, but I do have an imprint. It's African Love Press. And I know that it's an author that founded this imprint, and it's all about romance stories from the African continent. And I'm interested in expanding my reach, my reading within Black romance across the diaspora. And I'm like, well, what better way than to start like slowly pick up some gems? Like, okay, I know you're from here, you right over here. So if I could, I would say picking an author from that imprint.
Yeah, we actually have 2 writers that are in that. That's so funny. That's like the ultimate. Like, did y'all know we have 2 writers that are currently in Africa. And so every time they write, even like when they use their slang or like, you know, in the reviews, you gain so much. So I love that you said that. Next question. All right. 2 books that you read this year that everybody should read. Just 2. Because y'all read a lot. Look at you just said, oh, I think I got it.
Well, you know, Jaleesa got to answer that other question first. So while she
no,
answering that other question, you know what I'm saying?
I was like, that question, but she didn't say anything. And usually she would just come on for it, like, you know, come on.
Oh, no, because I am stressed out. How dare you ask me to just pick one person that I've never created?
Yeah, one person. You gotta answer that question.
There's actually a new author that I listened to, the Romance in Color podcast by Tati, who's also on TikTok, pretty big. And she was talking to Maya K, and she writes Black Christian contemporary romance. And I have read, I'm kind of sliding into the Christian romance a little bit. It's closed door for the most part. Some of them have been open, but most of it's closed. But I started her book. I think it's called Fumble with Your Heart or Fumbled Your Heart. I will give the correct title. I really enjoyed that. And I feel like that's a lane that a lot of us are not reading. But I feel like it's a lane that people will probably be interested in. So I would like to, you know, work with her and see what we can come up with, even if it's just, I'm going to read your books and do a series about me talking about these books that I read. Cause that's what my content is. So yeah, that's it. I don't have an answer to this new question. All this narrowing things down. I'm not good at making decisions about books because I just don't believe in making choices between all good things. I'm about to pull up my Goodreads.
Right. She's making us pick between Bible organs at this point.
I gotta see what I love so far.
Yeah. I thought I was giving you. Somebody said you thought you was getting a skip. Okay. So the next question. Oh, we got to go back to the book. The 2 books that you was it 2? Was it 2 books?
Yeah, it was 2. You said 2. You don't say one.
I'm about to say one. I was about to go down. I'm like, I'll give y'all 2. I'll give y'all 2. 2 books that you read from January 1st, 2023 until today, February 26th, 2023. That everybody, like, if you could say, followers, y'all need to read these for real. Like, stop playing.
My iPad.
Okay, go grab it, girl. And it could be from any genre. Gotta be Black.
I got mine. So the first book is Only If It's You by T. Lynn. It is it's a sports romance. It's arranged marriage, found family. It's a whole bunch just rolled into one. But when I tell you I ate that book up, I think I started that book at like 7 o'clock in the morning, and by like 10 o'clock that night, I was almost finished. And then the second book, which is, I'm in full transparency, this is completely biased because I love Ashley Nicole, but I Want to Be Down. When I tell you,
yeah,
sent a prayer. If I sent a prayer to God and was like, please give me the perfect Black rom-com in book form, it would be I Want to Be Down. I was in Memphis at the BLP meet and greet reading that book, and I was at breakfast reading that book and like choked on my mimosa so hard the lady next to me had to like help me out. That book was so perfect, like every single word. If you haven't read I Want to Be Down by Ashley Nicole, just put it on your TBR. Just trust me.
Yeah, we read it. Let's just say it'll be coming down our pipeline too, for monthly book discussions. Next up, come on, y'all got y'all too. Y'all scrolling.
So I have one that I think, especially Black community, just dive right on in. It's Rest is Resistance, a manifesto by Trissa Hersey. I've talked about it times on my page. I started the year off real slow. And she really kept talking about the robbing of our rest. You know what I mean? From a white supremacist space, from a capitalistic society. Like, we went from slavery to white supremacy to capitalism. We ain't got no rest. Okay. And so I think about Black women, and when they're taking a moment and you be like, you sleep? No, I'm just resting. They are literally revolutionary and resistant by finding and carving out a space to rest. And so, especially in this content space, and all of us have said it, if I go ghost, I'm taking it's quiet. It's real quiet. I am officially a D&D girly. I take my space and in my time, and I do things that really allow me to refuel. And so the book is very wordy, but there are questions at the end of each section used for journal prompting and just deeper discussion and deeper discovery of yourself. And I really benefited from it. So I would say everyone just go, take you a moment to find you some rest. Second one, and I hope I don't steal Tori, but it's Plie by Ace Cunningham, because y'all, I literally read that book in like 3 hours. I was like, what is happening up in here? How did we get here? Like, I'm here for it. And I think I said this, I was like, a lot of Black women and our sexuality is so right. You want us to be these sex kittens, but you also, want us to abide by these very strict, not religious policies, but very like, you have to be this way. You have to present yourself this way.
Very traditional presenting.
Like, listen, oh my God, my mama on here, but every hoe I know is married. Okay. And
and all the old hoes too. All the hoes that's grandmamas, they'll tell you how to keep. It was like a TikTok video when she was like, grandmama told you all these secrets, and she had a husband, had this, had that. So it's like, and had like 18 kids. So it's like, what was y'all wasn't just sitting in the church and that was it.
That wasn't it. And I think it's unrealistic, right? And so reading works like Plie, I was just like, that's right. Throw the book at them. Like, get in there. Be exploratory, like decide what your sex life looks like for you. You know what I mean? That's supposed to be between you, your partner, or your partners, whatever. That's that. I think Black women deserve to have their exploratory phase and to find this and be inspired by them. Like, we deserve that. We deserve our rest and we deserve good sex. Leave us alone.
I was just about to say, you picked two very on point, very on point books, because I started the that book, especially like for me, when you said I started the new year kind of slow, but it is this idea that you got to keep it going, don't stop, keep going, because I in my job as well do social and digital media, so it's like you're never off, like you're never. And I started in like the music lifestyle space. So it's like every award show, every this, you're never off. And so even to have with the Sister Girls Book Club, it's like, okay, we got to get new content, we got to do this. But it's like, girl, relax, release. It's okay. And then even talking about sexuality and sexual experiences, I feel like, especially within the Black community, we've never been to like able to publicly even say that we're reading something like that, or even because when I was coming, I shouldn't have been reading Zane, but I was reading Zane. I was like, girl, what you like, what I'm saying, like, but it gave you that idea that, oh, it could be different, or it could look different. Oh, they don't do this, or everybody's not a virgin until they get married, like that. You know what I mean? Even just having those conversations with your friends and your peers, even to know what questions to ask. Some people are full grown women that are just now like reading and like venturing off and adventuring, even asking the questions. And I think that is so good, because a lot of times it does start with like fictional books like that they just picked up and was like, wait, they did what? How many times you read a book and like I've had a book discussion or been in, they was like, I never knew what the grapefruit meant. Like, it'll be like something they've heard and they Googled it. Like, okay. So I think that's, and like I said, with Black literature, it's so great to see it open it up from every spectrum. Right. Go ahead, Tori. I ain't forget about you, girl.
Oh, y'all hitting. Y'all is hitting. I'm just over here like, wait a minute. I can't multitask. So I'm like, I'm just gonna hit you in the DMs. Like, what was the book? What drop the titles, please. Thank you. And nobody gets hurt. I think the conversation, the Black and Kink, that's a conversation that has to be had in more spaces than just the spaces where it's expected, but yeah, my two books one is going to be Prisoner of Love by Beverly Jenkins. It's a novella, and I'm so obsessed with Beverly Jenkins. I'm so obsessed with her. Like it don't make no sense. And so like I'll be scrolling through her catalog just to see if it's something I didn't see. And I didn't see this cover before, and I'm like, one click, go ahead, take that home. And it was just so good. You know, I love the Marriage of Convenience. Like I said, it is a novella, so if somebody hasn't read Beverly Jenkins and they're kind of intimidated by, you know, Black historical romance, because I understand it can be intimidating because the time periods. It's a good start. It's a good way to just get a gauge of her writing. And to me, it's erotica. I'm like, okay, Bev. It's actually under a different imprint, and like in her acknowledgments or her dedications, she just says, you know, she thanks the imprint for letting her spread her wings a bit. And I'm like, and spread you did. That wasn't the only thing that was spread, okay? I loved it. I loved it so much. And then my other pick, I would say, is In Search of Our Mother's Gardens by Alice Walker.
I actually picked in January. Oh, when you had, I don't want to cut you off, but I had to.
No,
when you started tweeting about that, I was like, yo, I didn't even, you know, you start reading stuff. You like, ain't nobody thinking about this book. But right. I had it last year. And then I picked, when I tell you, low key, every Black creator, every Black writer, every Black author, you need to read that book. She is giving out gems. Okay, but go ahead.
Yes. Oh my goodness. And like so and how I even got here is and within my company, my organization, there's like a she's a Black woman, she's the first in her position, and which is crazy because it's 2020, god dang 3. Anyway, she was saying that she's more of she's a womanist. She defines herself as a womanist, not a feminist. And, you know, we were in mixed company. So she was like, go and look that up. You know, she didn't even expand on it. She was like, go and look it up and just drop the mic, you know? And, you know, I'm over here like, all right, we will be Googling tonight. And it led me to this book by Alice Walker. And I was like, yeah, take me home. And I think, because I always, people like, oh, you're a feminist, but something about feminism never sat right with me. And I think the biggest thing is that it doesn't include Black women. Only when they need us for labor, right?
I was about to say that we want to rally up the troops. It's like, come on,
right?
We're women. We're all women,
right?
Not even get into it. I'm keeping it real cute for y'all.
Keeping it real cute. And so I think that was the biggest thing stopping me from saying like I'm a feminist. So womanist really speaks to me more because I think about being a Black woman and also just how intersectionality affects me as a Black woman, you know, and then people that are not like me, to be, you know, to be Black, to be queer, to be disabled. Like, how is life treating you with all of those identity markers stacked on top of each other? So yeah, that's one of my, I would say my wrinkled brain energy reads.
And it was, like I said, it's heavy, but it's good because it's eye-opening. So I have questions. All right. So DMs, shout out to you, DMs Diamonds. Those is my people over there. They my cousins. They always support. They show up when you be like, ain't nobody gonna like it. If I know nobody else ain't gonna like it and share it, they pull up. So shout out
to them for real. Like, absolutely. As you said, they are always supporting. Always.
So supportive. Because I'm like, are they gonna like it? And then I'm like, there y'all go. I love y'all. Because it's like some people. I forgot who said that on Twitter. I'm about to ask a question before. But somebody said on Twitter, because I was like, what do y'all want to ask, or how do y'all feel? And it was just like, you know, when someone affirms us by sharing us or pull it up in the comments, y'all don't really realize how much it really makes the day of the person who created that content, because you go so hard. But just like anybody else, you have self-doubt. Like, are they gonna like this? Are they appreciating it? It's like, am I just kind of like, you know, throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what's going to stick? And if it doesn't stick, you know, is it okay? Like, you know, we're always in that cycle. I don't care what stage you're from the beginning to the end. So it's like when y'all come in the comments and show love and just follow, share, like, or even like so many people who posted that, like, I support Black Book. I was hype. I was like, I know that's right. Because it's like, we know you support, but just we need to see it. Like, it's one thing to say it and you do it, and we know that you guys support. But when I go to the hashtag and I see so many people just saying it or sharing it, it's like, yes, y'all get it, y'all understand, like, why we're doing this. So that visibility, it matters. Because on these other apps, they are really suppressing content. Because I have 2 different TikTok pages, and I'll like go and put it in, because social media brain, let's just see, like, how can we, like, if I'm putting you in, it's supposed to feed me back what I like. Y'all not feeding me that. Y'all feeding me something totally different. And so I'm always trying to figure out a way, like, how can we maximize the space that we have and like expand it, but just by giving us affirmation, sharing, like, and comment, no matter how many followers you think somebody got, no matter how many, she's popular or he's it doesn't matter. All of that support, it matters. We care, we read everything. Oh, so I just had to put that little sermon in there. So the question is, aside from your co-panelists, who are the content creators that you admire? And I would even go beyond content creators a little bit, just because I know y'all, it's so many people. So like content creators, bloggers, YouTubers, who are the people that you kind of be like, yo, I love them, or I check for them every time they drop something, and that's so dope. You on mute, girl. Jaleesa.
In my head, I was like, there's so many. There's people that I've been following for years before I even became a content creator myself. They've been like ruining my TBR literally for years. A few that just come to the top of mind: Shades and Pages. Tima has been like a personal menace for like, it feels like I've known her for 10 years. We literally just met in person last year at Indie Love. But if she recommends a book, I already know I need to read the book. She'll text me like, I don't know what you read, but you need to read this now. And I'm like, okay, well, looks like I'm busy. Who else? Pour Over Books, Sierra. She's on Twitter and here on Instagram. She does this thing she connects wine with books, and those are like 2 of my favorite things. So she'd be like, hey, read this book, you're gonna need a whole bottle of wine, just so you know. And then I think Melanin Reads with 2 S's is another one who I've just been following and really admiring from afar for years at this point.
So on TikTok, I can definitely kind of piggyback on Jaleesa. Shades and Pages like wrecks me every time. I could just be like, dang it, let me go change what I'm doing. But I'm a huge fan of Conjuring Literacy. He's a doctoral student, and oh my gosh, his speculative fiction, when he goes off on all his tangents, I'm like, I'm here for everything. It's Black fantasy. It's all the things that I geek out on. So I'm a huge fan of his. There is, and then I think my other kind of like, I have to watch, I'm a Jackie Aina stan from back in the day. Anything Jackie puts, I'm standing her. Like, she's a beauty girl, but I also just feel like there's a effervescence in a way that she lives her life that I feel like, yes, tap into this rich Black woman energy, all of it, give it to me, yes. And then over on BookTube, I'm a huge Bow Ties and Books fan. Like, she's an OG.
She's an OG.
They're an OG, and
every
book they post, I'm like, let me go get that, right? Because it might be a different umbrella, but the books are always going to be quality. And even Mayana Reads, like, again, OG over on BookTube, like every fantasy rec, like, they're just people that I'm just like, I gotta see what y'all over there doing. That was so random of a group, but I loved every one of them. That was
I love it. Come on, Tori.
It's so hard. Like, even when I was making my Instagram post, I was like, God dang, I can only tag 20. Well, I'm gonna tag some of y'all in the comments. I would say I really love. Okay, so I'll start when I first got on. It was absolutely Shades and Pages and Aries Reads 2. Aries Reads 2, like, she like blew my mind because like she gave me visuals, like. And yes. I think she was like one of the first I saw.
Was for me, but she was.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And like not even like just give us visuals, but the quality. I was like, ooh. And so like I just go and save and be like, and that's my TBR. And now I know why that's my TBR, because look at the visuals. So like I love her. I love her visuals. And then Hot Girl Book Talk, which is, her name is Jordan. And I remember watching her Wind Down Wednesdays, way before I was creating. She'd be on Instagram drinking wine, talking about the books that she read. And like, even now, like thinking back, she was reading a lot of books and she was reading them in a short amount of time. I was like, God, Lee, how you do this, girl? I would also go with, I love Just J Robin 08. She's on TikTok and she's on Instagram. Really, really dope. And I also just love that she makes it a point to point out new to her authors, as well as she does this Minutes of the Week. And I love it because it's like, if you weren't following that Minutes of the Week, you want to follow them because your TBR needs it. It might say, no, I don't, but like, don't listen to your TBR. It'd be lying. I love What's Up Cece Sierra on TikTok and Instagram. I think she's so she is so vast in the things that she has her hands in. She has like a podcast, she has a YouTube that's about book. The podcast is more about lifestyle and things specific to like Black women. And then, you know, she's funny as hell, like one of the funniest people on the app. And then I can't, you know, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Robin. Sometimes Robin reads. She's so damn classy. The girl is she's so artistic, you know. Like she'll send me the post before she posted, and I'll be like, ooh, you know what I like to see in the morning. You know what I like to see. So I think it's dope to be among other creatives, because it's just, I don't know, it's just so much joy here.
Love it. I have a question. I'm like trying to do two things. I'm looking. Somebody has a question, but I don't know if this is good or not because I don't know. So somebody said, ask Jaleesa if she thinks about releasing her own work again. Tell her Shakima wants to know specifically. You see how I'm saying it was lit up? So I'm like, I don't know if this is fighting words and I don't know about it. So I just got to read. Okay, I'm just reading, but it's worded in a way where we know something that was already said. Specifically in all caps.
So back in 2020 during the pandemic, I released a novella or a novelette. And I am working on something. I am taking my time because I was trying to I was like, oh, I released something. Let me release something else. Writing a book is hard. Like, I don't know how people be pushing out like 10, 15 books a year because it's literally taken me 3 years to even flesh out this idea that I'm working on. But October Brown, that's my pen name. Something will be coming.
I like that name.
You know what? I got your book in my Kindle. I got your book in my Kindle, and you know how I got it in my Kindle? I think it was either Nicole Falls or Honesty Price that threw you under. They threw you out there. They threw you out there.
They do that.
Thank you for their service. I appreciate. I'm appreciative.
So yeah, something eventually. I think that was Shamika that asked that.
It was. She said, and tell her it was me specifically, all caps. I'm riding with Shamika on this one. She came with all caps. All right. So the last question is, what is your hope for like the Black lit space and like Black book content creators? Like, what is your hope for the future? I know that's like one of those we are the world questions, but time goes by really quickly. And like before you know it, it's like, oh, I did this for 1 year. Then the next thing you look up, it's like, damn, I've been in this space for 5 years. And so what do you hope to like change or to like, you know, you want to see in this space? It could be from anywhere, from a content creator's point of view. It could be from a writer's point of view, or just like, you just want this to be in the space in the next couple of years.
I'll start. I want Black authors and the books that they write to receive the same respect automatically, just because it is a book that has been written and published. I want them to receive the same respect that them other authors get, because I done read them other authors' books, and I can tell you firsthand, they do not hit the way that these Black authors books are hitting. They just don't. They don't have the range. They don't. And I also want the Black literary community to be able to have events like, what is it? Is it like Romance Con? It's like this huge romance book like weekend, and it's like thousands upon thousands of people come, and there are like events all weekend. I want something like that for Black lit in general. I want Black fantasy authors. I want Black romance. I want Black
Lord.
Everybody involved. And I feel like no one is going to hand us anything. We know that. We already know that. We need to come together. It's on us, as it always is. It's always going to be our burden to make sure that our people and our things are seen and at the forefront and are celebrated the way that they should be. I think with the growth that I've seen, with the Black book community in these past couple of years, I feel like that's somewhere we can get. It's going to take some work. It's going to take some collaboration. It's going to take a lot of people stepping outside of their comfort zones and really putting themselves out there and being like, look, I got this idea. Who wants to help me? But I just want to get to that space where it's like, yeah, girl, you going to Black Book Con or whatever it is? Hell yeah, I'm going. I done booked my hotel been booked for 6 months. I want us to receive that same adoration and that same celebration that everybody else gets, because it's deserved. It's so well earned. And I feel bad for people that don't read Black books. I really do, because it's like you missing out. You are missing out.
Well, let's just say, Jaleesa, I'm just saying it's not as far away as you can. It's not as far away as you think. So that's all I'm gonna say about it. That's all Sister Girls Book Club gonna say about it. It's not as far away as you might think. But you
didn't said enough right there. Look, you just said enough.
There's a lot of people.
Let me just go ahead and save my little rainy day. For when it comes,
the Renaissance is definitely among us. But yeah, I think a lot of people, I'll say this, a lot of people in the space, like the Sister Girls Book Club, like Black Girls Who Write, like there are a lot of people in the space that are fighting like behind the scenes for like so much, whether it's collaborations with different corporations and companies, or just to get that level of like to be amplified. And a lot of times it's just believing in it. Like, do they believe in it enough, as much as we believe in it? And I think that, like I said, it's not as far away as you might think, or the conversations I feel like are happening. And I think it's just so great that we're all on one accord. I feel like I can, yeah. Anybody else?
I love that. I love that. That makes me so happy. Because I would just love for I would love for it not to be like they're taking a risk with Black romance, indie Black romance, Black romance authors. And because they're taking a risk, those romances have to fit in a certain box for them to, for them to get the recognition or to get the deals or partnerships. Like that's what I'm sick of, because like Jaleesa said, these books be hitting. There's some stuff in these books, and it's some stuff lacking from the other side. So I would also, one of the things I'm working on this year is just being like, I guess, an advocate to get more indie authors in book spaces such as libraries. And I, the hardest thing is different libraries have different policies about submissions, and everything goes back to money. But I think that if more indie authors were available in libraries, on Libby, on Hoopla, that broadens their audience and their visibility. And I'm like, if there's even like, one or two steps I could do as just a supporter and a reader, then why not? Even if it's like putting it on the post and saying, hey, you got some extra time on your hands, maybe some extra money, go ahead, check this out. And then the other thing is, I think unity is so needed, because a lot of times we spend time creating something new when there's already something that exists, and we could put our backing behind the thing that already exists. And because the acclaim comes with time, but also support. And so like one of the awards shows that I was really happy to see was the Black Book Awards. And I was like, that's so dope, like, and Mo is the creator. I think she's Mo the Reader on Instagram, and she's a college student, real sweet. And she just like, I wanted to do this for Black books. And so she built that thing. And so whereas like I could be like, oh, I want to create a Black romance, award. But I could just say, you know what? I'm going to support Mo and whatever Mo needs in whatever capacity she needs me to support her, and she gets to keep building, getting better, getting bigger. And she has more resources because she has the support behind her. And so that's what I would just hope, is that we would support what's already here so that we can make it even bigger, even better, even brighter, even Blacker,
Yeah, I think that's definitely a major thing, because I feel like sometimes people want to do something and they don't even know that it already exists. But once it exists, it's like you can lend your own talents, because what you might have that, and I'm talking to the audience too, because a lot of times people are like, I want to start a YouTube channel, I want to start. It's like nobody's saying not to start it. If you feel like that's on your heart, go ahead and do it. But there's so many people like content creators and like book clubs and I don't know, YouTubers, audios. It's so many spaces that need help. They need assistance. They need writers. They need people to just come up with ideas so that you can execute them. They need your ability to like think quickly. It's so many things that you have that can be an assistance too, especially. And then if you want to start your own, you at least have like knowledge or be knowledgeable about it, and you're introduced to the community. So you're not like, oh, who is she? It's like, oh, she been here because she been rolling with such and such, and she been rolling with whoever. I think sometimes we get into this space where it's like, if I don't do it myself, then it can't be done, or it's not going to be done to the way that they want it, like you think it's going to be, especially with awards. Because I always say, Sister Girls Book Club, we're never coming out with awards. We don't need to. Like, we have no, sometimes people ask, they're like, oh yeah, no, we have no, like, that is not a lane that we have, because there are so many awards that are out for the taking. Like, I can name 5 off the top of my head. And it's like, let's just support and amplify what already exists. The categories are there. The people are there. The awards are bomb. Like Black Girls Who Write, they give you a whole, we won an award. Like I was like, wow, we get a whole gift box. And it, like, it's so much thought and stuff put into it. So it's like, let's just uplift and amplify what's there. And if you see something that's not there that you don't like, let's assist them. Let's be solution oriented. That's not like, try to say, well, they don't have this, so I'm doing this. It's like, no, girl, maybe they just didn't know. Like, let's create ways that we can, because everybody don't have the same vantage point. We think we're doing, it's like, you're missing something. You have your vulnerability there. You didn't know this. So we're all still learning. So I second that. Anybody else? Come on, Felicia. Come on.
So I'm really like in my head about this whole idea of like amplifying voices that are already there, right? Kind of everyone has been making, and what kind of support looks like in our community, in this community. I think a repost, creator that you're influenced by, like those things go so far, right? Like one, the creator that you're helping is going to uplift them, but it's also going to use your circle of influence to then get that creator to your circle of influence. And it's like a flow of like energy, reciprocity, right? So I am very big on, if I like it, I'm gonna repost it, I'm gonna save it. You know what I mean? Because it's like, you're right, it's not always going to be about me. Like, it's about how do we share this amongst each other. And so the amplifying of the voices that is there, I really want Black writers, Black readers to use these voices to, like y'all said, like get our authors, and I say our because I feel like they are ours, you know what I mean? Like, get our authors to the level that they need to be at, because there's no way, I don't want to see another Coho book. No shade, no tea, no shade. I'm sick of it. I think that there are so many quality authors, and not just in the Black community, in so many different spaces, that deserve that amplifying of, that voice, right? Because all voices need to be heard, but amplifying the voices that are there. And then, like I said, like this idea of community upliftment and using each other. I believe in circle of influence, and I believe that if I like Jaleesa post and I repost it, or if I'm inspired by it and Tori sees it and then she's inspired, like that's a train. Like that Black Girl Follow train was not a fluke. Like it was not a fluke. You know what I mean? Like it happened. It happened because we all like were working together to do a thing. And so I think, we thought more community minded and really focused in on that, I think that there is no telling where the Black book community could be in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. So any advice on to last question, any advice for people who are thinking about becoming book content creators? What if they just want to like get into the space? Somebody said we definitely need book content creators on YouTube because not a lot of y'all there. So start a YouTube channel, y'all. What advice would you give them? Like when they're like, I'm thinking about it, I want to start I don't know, it looks oversaturated. Am I adding to anything? It's already been done. You know, all the things that we tell ourselves, the reasons why we shouldn't just do the thing.
I unmiked myself so fast. So you have Nikki Taylor's book. Nikki Taylor, who used to run Essence Ebony, I'm missing it right now, but she has this like whole thing that she says when she speaks to women. She's like, you know, you're the daughter of a king. Your seat is already in the room. You just got to go and claim it. I feel like whatever it is that you want to do, if it's BookTube, BookTok, Bookstagram, Book Twitter, your community is going to come. You just got to do it. Put yourself, got to do it.
Yeah, that's the advice I would give. And it's so funny because a couple weeks ago there was a TikTok I saw and it was a Black creator and she was new and she was like, you know, I just don't see anybody reading the books that I want to read and I don't know if there's really space for me. And I was like, put out the content because no one's going to know to read the book if you're not telling them to read the book. You really just have to. And it's scary putting yourself out there again for millions of strangers to scroll past your page, but just do it. And once you take that leap, it's going to take you some time to get comfortable. It's going to take you some time to figure things out. It's going to take you some time to build followers. Like that, everything takes time, but you have to actually start doing it in order for you to build up upon it. And we are not oversaturated. There is plenty of space, specifically in the Black book content world. There is so much space because there are tropes and there are categories that people are not talking about because we are only one. Like I'm one person, I can only read so many books. Somebody else, y'all gonna have to read these books too. So just if you want to do it, just do it. And if you ever have questions or you need help, and I'm sure that this goes for everybody that's on this panel right now, hop in the DMs. DMs are open. Say hello first.
Our DMs are not open. I'm just like, you say that and bring the flood. They be like, we're here. And you like, oh,
not this girl book club DMs, but like I know mine are. I'm sure Tori's are. I'm sure Felicia's are. Like,
no, I was just joking.
We are here.
We don't know. We told I guess go hit Jaleesa. Because
she said allow a 7 to 10 business day. Wait,
it will turn into the directory of like, remember that girl in that green? What's her name again? I'm like, Jaleesa. What's her? They use Sister Girls Book Club as the directory for anything, and I'm just like, it's so great to be in that space, but it's also like we don't remember,
right?
So
we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. But I love that you said that because we need it. Come on, Tori. We need you to with the word.
You can hit me in the DMs. Anybody that hits me in the DMs, you're gonna get a voice note back. Okay. I'm probably always doing something, and the best way I can respond without forgetting is to send you a voice note. So, and it probably will be chaotic, and you're welcome. But yeah, I think that is definitely a thing. Don't be scared to reach out to somebody. Also, you know, Tracy G, she's a content creator. I found her on Instagram and I was listening to her affirmations. She has them on Apple Music. And one of the affirmations is even baby steps slay paralysis, right? And I think that for me, it's just like, you got to start, take one step. Even if you're not sure, if you don't know what the plan is, you're like, I do not know what video is coming next. Just say, hey, because I think for me, that's how I got on BookTok. Because I went on TikTok first, and then I went to Bookstagram like a couple of months afterwards. And my first video was hey, I'm Tori. If you know me in real life, please continue to scroll. What are you doing here? And that was my first video. And so I think just do it, because there is always a space for you. Your voice is different from anybody else's voice, and you have a perspective that needs to be shared. And then my other thing is, I would say, don't watch the numbers. Don't watch the numbers, okay? Do not. I know it's easy to get caught up in likes, views, all of that, but don't watch that too closely. All right. Watch the joy, watch the community, like watch the community you have, because just think about it. It's like if you got, if you got 5 comments on your video, you got 5 friends that's ready to talk about the book that you talked about. That's dope. Like that's community. That's what we're here for. So just try not to, give yourself grace and try not to watch the numbers too hard, because it'll take the joy out of it.
And that's what the man wants. They want us to be stuck on those numbers. I tell everybody in 2021, 2021, 2022-ish, I let go of the numbers, because I was like, it really starts to beat you down. And you're like, okay, why is this not? And then it's like, well, if I'm going through this, a lot of people are going through this too. So it's like a lot of you said about sharing, and just like, even if you share something in the stories or just comment or do something, it really does change like people's days. And the thing is, by you being in this space, I promise you, in like a month, we won't remember how we found you. We just know that you're here. Like, I don't know who started new, old, what, it's not even, I can't tell you. I just know that y'all been here for a while. You could have just said, Cherie, technically we've been here for since 20. I wouldn't know any different, because it just feels like once you start making it and you're in our space, you feel like you've always been here, and I think that's the great thing about being a Black book, anything, content creator, art. It's like, it's like you've always been here. We don't sit there and be like, well, you've only been here for 2 months, so get back to the 5th person in the line. Like, no, once you're here and you're making the content, you're just here. So because we follow everybody, because like I said, I handle social media. I just be follow, share, because y'all are coming out with some dope stuff, and I'm talking about changing the game for real. So that's what I want to say. Thank you so much. I want you guys to tell us where they can find you, where you would like for them to go, because y'all are everywhere. But it's like, well, would you prefer us to use the Clock app to get to you, the Instagram streets? So go ahead. Somebody, you on me.
Y'all got so much manners. Look at them. I love it here.
Maybe waiting.
Okay. No, I was like, no, you first. So you can find me, Black Romance Connoisseur, on the Clock app as well as Instagram. If you are trying to DM me on Instagram. Okay, that's gonna be because I can send you voice notes there. That's really 100%. It's less complicated. I can send you voice notes. I am on Twitter. It's Locked Rose. That page is not endorsed by anybody. Okay, just that doesn't. Good luck over there.
That is funny. Like, good luck. Godspeed.
I am BKLYN Book Bell on everything. Like, I just went out and was like, all right, we're gonna do it everywhere. So Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, depending on, like I said, my emotional boat where it takes me, that's where I'm at. Sometimes I'm on Twitter talking spit. Sometimes I'm on TikTok. I'm majorly on TikTok though. But I'm venturing into YouTube, so please follow me there. I don't know. I love a YouTube girly. I don't know.
Me too. I love the YouTube girlies. I watch it on my big screen.
Right. So please follow me over there. I'll be doing lifestyle and book content. And hopefully you guys will follow me there. This has been great though. Thank you.
I am Jaleesa Reeds on the Clock app and officially now on Instagram and Twitter. I had to separate my book world from my real world because some of my friends was like, girl, if you put another book on this Instagram story, I've already spent like $200 because of you. So Jaleesa Reeds, Twitter is, Twitter just happens. I don't know who is over that Twitter account over there, but she be doing a lot sometimes. I don't know her. My more serious content would be on TikTok. And then I'm new to Bookstagram, so I'm trying to figure out Bookstagram. It's a whole nother world.
Okay. Can I just say real quick? Jaleesa said she knew to Instagram, but I when I see the 28 days of Black romance, like it's up there. You might be new, but you're not. You know what I mean? It's kind of like you've been here.
Yeah, because when you said you did it last year, I was like, really? This is the second year?
I did to do it officially this year with like the prompts, because last year it was like, hey, we just gonna talk about 28 books.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna tell y'all these books that I really love. I wanted to have a little more fun. It's been a bit overwhelming because I do like I get on Instagram and I see people tag me and I'm like, oh, okay. I see that template and I'm like, oh, y'all really doing this. And we've been doing it for 28 days almost. It's exciting.
Yes, I love it. So I just want to say thank you all for joining, like the people and the readers out there. I got to do a shameless plug. Behind the Pen is our Black independent author book signing. It's happening this year, back from the panoramic. This is the first time back, so we going all out. Okay. It is going to be August 12th. It's Saturday. Tickets are on sale now. Please come. 17 dope Black indie authors are coming to see you. Sign books, take pictures. We gonna have some food, music. It's a time. And make sure you follow Sister Girls Book Club. It's the same name everywhere you go. And thank you so much again, ladies. I know you're gonna have everything that your heart desires, and that is always my wish to you guys. So thank you all so much, and thank y'all. And we'll be seeing y'all on these social media streets.
Thank you for today. Thank you for Black Authors Day and Black Book Club Day. So really appreciate you making our days and sharing it so that other people can celebrate people in the Black lit world.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
I had a great time.
Yeah, I had a great time too. Y'all is like a key, but I'm going to end it here.